When you start a campaign, you don't need to generate a full world map, but it is generally a good idea to have some knowledge of the local region where your campaign takes place, what the local nations are, nearby towns, along with distance and base travel times. Hello everyone, Amadorn here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about world maps and generate a random world map with Azgarr's Fantasy Map Generator. The quickest and easiest way I have found to generate a world map is with Azgarr's Fantasy Map Generator. It's a great free online tool that has a lot of functionality. There's a link down below in the description. As soon as you click the link, it will open the website and generate a random world map. At the top left-hand corner is a small box with an arrow in it. Click on that to open the Tools box. This will generally open up on the Layers tab. At the bottom of the toolbox is a button labeled New Map. When you click on that button, the tool will generate a new random map using the current options. In order to change those options, click on the Options tab in the middle of the top bar of the Tools box. This is where you can change all the settings that the map generator uses to create the map. The map seed is the number that the program uses as a base function of the math that creates the locations of all the points for the coastlines, locations of towns and cities, etc. You can make this any number you want. How the number actually affects the math is far beyond me. If you have ever played Minecraft, this is the same thing as the world seed. If you share this number with others, they can generate a map that is very close to the same as the one you make. The options I tend to change the most often is the height map, the points number, cultures number, provinces ratio, size variety, and states number. There really is no rhyme or reason to what is better, as it's really all up to personal taste. I recommend playing around with them and finding something you like. When you get to something that fits your style, make a note in Obsidian to record the setting to use. There is one other configuration menu that you should probably be aware of. At the bottom of the Options tab is the Configure World button. This will open up a box where you can choose how much of the planet's globe will be generated by your map. You can choose to do the whole planet, just the northern or southern hemispheres, or just the tropics. There are sliders to let you move the map box around the globe as well as change its size. You can also click on the little arrows on the right-hand side to change the direction of the prevailing trade winds, which can have a significant impact on the climate in the generated areas. One interesting thing here I will note is the effect on the canvas size on the distance covered by the generated map. The default canvas size is 1920 by 937. Each pixel is the equivalent of 1 mile. So if you're generating a whole world map with that canvas size, then your world will only be 937 miles from the North Pole to the South Pole, which is only about 8% the size of Earth. The larger you make the canvas, or the smaller portion of the globe your map covers, the larger your planet will be. The meridian distance of Earth, the distance in miles from pole to pole along the outer surface of the planet, is 12,429.87 miles. To generate a whole world map the size of Earth, your canvas size would have to be 25,496.952 by 12,429.87 pixels. I haven't tried doing that. I'm afraid it would crash the tool, my computer, or maybe even the space-time continuum. The easiest way to get the map you generate closer to actual Earth size is to change the map size percentage in the Configure World box. Most of the time when I'm using the tool, I pick one of the hemispheres and then change the map size to 31%. This puts the map at 97% of Earth size, which is close enough for government work. The latitude slider will move the box north or south to better place it within this hemisphere. I can generate a continent the size of Eurasia pretty easily. Again, just play around with it until you come up with something you like. The last thing I want to cover before we wrap up this video is how to download your map to use it in Obsidian or elsewhere. At the bottom of the Tools box is a button labeled Save. This will allow you to download a file that you can then use the Load button in the generator to reopen the map at a later time. That way you can continue working on it from where you left off. The Export button will allow you to save your map in several different image formats for use in Documents, Obsidian, and elsewhere. Just keep in mind that if you want to make changes to your map later, that you'll have to use the Save and Load tools to create a specific file for Azgarr's map generator. You can also import your map into Foundry VTT. I haven't done this, I don't use Foundry, but there should be instructions here for how to do that. Well, there you go, one quick crash course in random world map generation. As this series goes on, I will cover how to manually edit Azgar's maps, talk about world maps in general and their uses in greater detail. Maps are great tools for both the GM and the players, as they can be sources of inspiration for stories and adventures in and of their own accord. And with that, have fun generating your maps, and until next time, roll some dice, have some adventures, and I hope the rest of your day goes well. Bye!